So there's 4 key elements that you have to work on as a salesperson. Number 1, the person. That's you, right? You got to work on yourself every single day, because if you're not right, none of this could ever work. So number 1, you got to work on you, right? The person. Number 2, you got to work on the product. You got to know what you're selling. You got to be able to explain the product, at the very least know what it is, right? And you got to know a little something about it. Even if you're not a product expert, you got to know a little something about it to at least do a product demonstration, right? So number 2 is the product. Number 3 is the process, right? If you're right and you know the product, you got to know the process as to how to sell it. So you got to be good yourself, right? You're the person, number 1. Number 2 is the product. Number 3, the process. You got to know how to do this thing. You got to know the sales process and the steps to the sale, the road to the sale. And number 4, when you start to get a little bit more advanced, you got to know the prospect. You got to understand how to read your customer. You got to understand how to effectively communicate with your customer through selling techniques, through understanding how to use your voice as a tool, tonality, understanding how to do all the things, how to get into the mind of your customer, the psychology of what we do, right? This physiological need for connection that customers have. So 4 things that you got to work on, the 4 elements. Number 1 is the person, that's you. Number 2 is the product. You got to know what you're selling. Number 3 is the process. You got to know how to sell it. And number 4, you got to know your prospect. You got to know your customer, and you got to understand how to effectively communicate, get into the mind of your customer, and understand how you can make more car deals and make more profit. Sometimes it's the simplest questions we don't ask, right? I had a salesperson that told me a few weeks back that they weren't able to make a car deal because their customer only wanted an Acura. Only wanted an Acura. This isn't a Jeep dealership. They only wanted an Acura. So I had said, well, why only an Acura? And the salesperson said, well, I don't know. I didn't ask, right? So it's like, do we know that they only want an Acura, or is there one feature in the Acura that they really like and they've only seen it in Acura? Like, would they go with a Honda? Would they go with a Nissan? Why only an Acura? And sometimes we just take what our customer says at face value, assuming that it's an educated, statement from your customer, or they've done all of this homework, but really we don't know until we ask. So ask your customer. I know it seems so simple and so obvious, but trust me, have an honest conversation with yourself. Have you ever had a customer that only needed a BMW? They only wanted a BMW, they only wanted a Lexus, they only wanted an Acura, they only wanted a Toyota. That's it. Every single time a customer said that to you, have you asked every single time, why only the Acura? Why only the Toyota? Why only the BMW or Lexus? Chances are a few slip through the cracks. So honestly, anytime your customer says, I only want this, I only want to do that, best question to ask is the simplest question. Why? How come? Just out of pure curiosity, not being combative, how come? So anytime your customer says something, the most effective question you can ask to get into the mind of the customer is, why? Hey, my friend, thank you for watching. And if you want to see videos just like this one, please like and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate the love and support. And don't forget, leave some comments down below. I'm looking forward to all of your interaction and feedback, and I can't wait to bring you more videos just like this one. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.